Once upon a time, in a place where the earth was as brown as burnt umber and the sun shone as hot as a furnace, there lived a young lad named Kavi. Kavi was just an ordinary boy who lived in an ordinary little house with his parents and sister. They were a very ordinary family who did not have any remarkable possessions or a particularly happy life. You could say they were as ordinary as sand on the street, or as numerous as the dewdrops on the grass blades. However, this all changed when a king issued a royal proclamation that whoever solved a difficult riddle would receive unimaginable riches. Could this be the extraordinary turn that Kavi's ordinary life needed? Find out in today's episode. Let's start without further ado. The King's Riddle in the Kingdom of Royal Blue. When the morning mist had lifted and the cheerful birdsong echoed through the Kingdom of Royal Blue, the king held a meeting in the grand palace courtyard. All the townspeople gathered, their faces lifted towards the king seated on his majestic golden throne. "My subjects," boomed the king, his voice echoing like thunder. "For many years, my royal family has owned a magical ring that grants wishes. Unfortunately, it has disappeared. Whoever finds the ring and solves my riddle will receive half of my kingdom and untold riches." The king paused dramatically, allowing his words to sink in. "What has no beginning, end, or middle, yet can be broken? What has no voice, yet can speak to you? What has no body, yet can come for you?" A hush fell over the crowd. No one had the answer. The king continued, "The one who provides the correct answer will receive the promised prize." A father's hope. Kavi listened intently to the king's words. He might be an ordinary boy, but he dreamed of a better life for his family. The reward was substantial, yes, but Kavi was more motivated by the chance to pull his family out of their dire situation than by personal gain. After the gathering, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the kingdom, Kavi shared his plans with his family. "I think I know the answer to the king's riddle," he announced, his eyes shining with determination. His parents and sister were skeptical, but supportive nonetheless. Kavi's father, a weathered man with hands that bore witness to years of toil, placed a reassuring hand on his son's shoulder. "Go, Kavi," he said, his voice gruff with emotion. "May the best fortune smile upon you." And with a kiss to his sister's forehead, Kavi set out for the palace. Through the twisting paths to the palace, as darkness descended, Kavi walked down winding paths leading to the palace, each twist and turn making the structure more imposing than the last. Finally, he stood before the main gate, its imposing figure blocking the path ahead. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward, his heart pounding in his chest like a drum. A guard clad in steel armor approached, his face stern and unsmiling. "What brings you here in the dead of night, young one?" he demanded. Kavi swallowed his fear and replied respectfully, "I am here to answer your king's riddle, sir." The guard's expression remained unchanged, but he gestured for Kavi to continue. "Very well. Show yourself at the foot of the South Tower at midnight, and I shall inform the king." Kavi thanked him and patiently waited for the appointed hour. Midnight at the South Tower. When the clock struck midnight, Kavi stood at the base of the South Tower, its silhouette stark against the moonlit sky. He felt a surge of emotions, a mixture of excitement, anxiety, and determination. Suddenly, a window creaked open and a soft voice called out, "Who is there?" Gathering his courage, Kavi responded, "I am here to answer your king's riddle." A moment passed. Then the window opened wider and a young woman dressed in flowing robes appeared. "I am the princess," she said, her voice melodic. "And you are?" "Kavi, princess," he replied, bowing slightly. "I wish to answer the riddle and win the prize offered by my king." The princess nodded. "Very well. Follow me." She descended from the tower, signaling for Kavi to do the same. The riddle in the rose garden. As they reached the ground, the princess led Kavi through secret passages until they arrived in a secluded rose garden bathed in moonlight. In the center stood a marble fountain adorned with flowers. The princess gestured for Kavi to wait and disappeared behind the fountain. Moments later, she reappeared with a small ornate box in her hands. "Here lies the key to solving the king's riddle," she said, handing it to him. "Open it." Trembling hands, Kavi opened the box to reveal a ring nestled on a bed of velvet. It was exquisitely crafted, radiating an otherworldly glow. As he touched it, a jolt of energy surged through him. The princess watched, her gaze intense. "Now place the ring on your finger and speak the answer to the riddle." Kavi hesitated, the weight of the task settling upon him. Taking a deep breath, he slipped the ring on his finger and declared, "The answer to your king's riddle is dawn." The princess gasped. "How did you—" Before Kavi could respond, the sound of approaching footsteps echoed through the garden. The princess quickly hid the box and the riddle in her robe. "The king is coming," she whispered. Hide the box and pretend you found the ring just now. Kavi nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. The king's surprise when the king arrived. He was visibly relieved to find the ring. The crowd had gathered, their faces a mix of curiosity and anticipation. The king placed the ring on his finger and announced, "I am pleased to announce that this young man has solved my riddle. He shall receive the promised reward." Cheers erupted from the crowd. Kavi was led before the king. Kavi's mind raced. How could he explain the events of the previous night? Was the princess going to reveal the truth? But these concerns were momentarily pushed aside when the king offered him his hand. "Kavi," he said, his voice echoing with sincerity, "you have proven to be wise beyond your years. Your reward awaits you in the treasury. Take what you desire." Overwhelmed, Kavi could only nod. The extraordinary gift. Kavi entered the treasury, his eyes widening at the sight of gold, jewels, and priceless artifacts. But it was the sight of a massive, intricately carved wooden box that truly captivated him. Upon opening it, he found a collection of books bound in leather and adorned with gold, each page whispering tales of ancient wisdom. It was a library in a box. Kavi knew he couldn't carry such a heavy box home, so he left it there, promising to return for it later. Outside the palace, he was greeted by his family and friends, all eager to hear about his adventure. As the sun set, bathing the kingdom in hues of orange and purple, Kavi began his journey home. The path seemed shorter now, his heart lighter with each step. He couldn't wait to share his adventure, his near miss, and the magnificent library with those who loved him. Moral of the story: Kavi's life serves as a beacon of hope and encouragement for us all. It teaches us that even the most ordinary of individuals can achieve extraordinary things with a bit of courage, some cleverness, and a pure heart. Kavi's victory wasn't just about winning the king's riddle or claiming the grand prize. It was about his transformation from an ordinary boy to a hero of his own story. Moreover, the story highlights the importance of one's surroundings. Kavi's close relationship with his family and friends provided him with the support and motivation to take on the challenge and ultimately claim his reward. The everlasting lesson here is that no matter where you start in life, your potential knows no bounds. Keep watching to be inspired by amazing stories like this one. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe.